Chosen one. Why does your body feel older than your spirit? Why do you wake at 3 a.m., not from insomnia, but from something ancient stirring inside you? Why does every mirror whisper time is running out while your soul screams, I'm not finished yet? Stop scrolling, right now. Heaven just paused your thumb for a reason you don't yet understand. Listen to me carefully. For the next 42 hours, 42 sacred hours, something is going to happen inside your body, your cells, your very timeline, and you must rely on it. Completely. Without question. Without doubt. This is not another sermon about patience. This is a divine summons. What if I told you that the exhaustion crushing your chest right now isn't aging? What if it's transformation disguised as tiredness? What if your body isn't breaking down, it's being broken open for supernatural rewiring? The heaviness in your bones, the weariness that medicine can't explain, the fog that settled over your mind like winter frost. What if that's not decline? What if that's divine anesthesia? God is about to perform surgery on your soul, and He needs you still. Before we go one word deeper, I need to pause and thank every single one of you who has supported this message through super thanks. Your generosity means more than you know. You're not just donating, you're helping spread light to others who feel alone in their calling. Whether you give or not, I'm deeply grateful for your presence here, your support, your time, your attention. It all matters. And if this message resonates with your soul, go ahead and let heaven mark this moment. Now, if you felt this deep, unexplainable tiredness, if your body feels heavy but your spirit feels electric type, I feel it in the comments right now. Because tonight, heaven sees you. And heaven is calling you by name. 42 hours, chosen one. That's how long this divine operation takes. 42 hours where God operates on what your doctor cannot touch, where heaven rewires what time tried to destroy. You thought you were aging. But what if you're being reversed? What if heaven is about to perform surgery on your soul, and all He asks is stillness? Something is about to unfold, and you were summoned here to witness it. Why can't you sleep through the night anymore? Why does your body ache in places medicine can't reach? Why do you feel like you're fading when your soul keeps whispering there's still something left to do? Let me tell you something that will shatter everything the world has told you about aging. You call it exhaustion. Heaven calls it sedation. You call it weakness. God calls it preparation. You think your body is shutting down, but what if it's being shut down on purpose? Chosen one, listen to me carefully. That bone-deep tiredness crushing your chest right now, that fog settling over your mind like December snow, that heaviness in your limbs, that makes every step feel like you're walking through water that is not your body giving up on you. That is divine anesthesia. God is putting you under so He can operate. Think about it. When a surgeon prepares for a life-saving operation, what's the first thing they do? They sedate you. They still you. They make your body go quiet so their hands can work without your interference. Your consciousness would fight the scalpel. Your fear would reject the healing. So they put you to sleep not to harm you, but to save you. That's what's happening to you right now. For months, maybe years, you've been fighting this fatigue. You've blamed your age. You've cursed your body. You've looked in the mirror and whispered, I'm running out of time. But what if time isn't running out? What if time is being rewired? What if the great physician has you on his operating table right now, and all he's asking is that you stop fighting and lie still? The prophet Daniel understood this. In Daniel chapter 10, verse 8, he writes, I had no strength left. My face turned deathly pale and I was helpless. This wasn't sickness. This wasn't failure. This was divine encounter. When heaven touched him, his human frame couldn't handle the voltage. He collapsed. he went still. And in that stillness, God downloaded revelation that would change nations. Your stillness is not your ending, chosen one. It's your rewiring. You've been asking God why you feel so tired, why you can't keep up anymore, why the world is moving faster while you're slowing down. But what if slowing down is the point? What if your body is being deliberately decelerated so your spirit can finally accelerate? Here's the sacred truth they don't tell you in churches anymore. Your body's slowing down so your spirit can speed up. Think about Moses. 80 years old when God called him to the burning bush. 80. His body was ancient, but his assignment was just beginning. Sarah was 90 when she birthed nations. Abraham was 100 when promise became flesh. God doesn't operate on human timelines. He operates on eternal ones. And right now, in this season, he's operating on you. That exhaustion you feel at 2 a.m., that's not insomnia. That's intercession being downloaded into your spirit while your body rests. Those tears that come from nowhere, that's not depression. That's decades of suppressed anointing finally breaking through. That fog in your mind, that's not dementia. That's divine mystery being installed where human logic used to be. You're not losing yourself, beloved. You're losing the old version so the eternal version can emerge. I know what you're thinking, but I feel so weak. I feel irrelevant. I feel forgotten. Let me tell you something that will wreck you. The world calls it aging. Heaven calls it arriving. The world sees decline. Heaven sees divine timing. The world writes you off. Heaven writes you in. You are not becoming less. You are becoming ready. And here's what breaks my heart: so many of you are fighting the very process that's trying to save you. You're resisting the stillness. You're rejecting the rest. You're treating exhaustion like an enemy when it's actually an invitation. God is whispering, "Be still and know that I am God." And you're answering, "But I have to keep moving or I'll disappear." No, beloved. If you keep moving, you'll miss it. The surgery, the rewiring, the reversal. You're not losing time. You're entering holy time, the kind of time where 42 hours can undo 42 years, where divine metabolism replaces human decay, where what looked dead starts breathing again. If you know if something deep in your spirit recognizes this word, type, "I surrender to stillness" in the comments right now, because heaven is holding you in place for a reason, and that reason is about to be revealed. But first, you need to understand what's really happening in these 42 hours. Chosen one, listen to me with everything you have. 42 hours. That's not a random number. That's not religious poetry. That's the exact window heaven needs to rewrite your cells, resurrect your spirit, and reverse what time tried to steal from you. Do you know what happened between Friday's cross and Sunday's empty tomb? Approximately 42 hours. Jesus wasn't just dead. He was descending into the depths, breaking chains in the underworld, dismantling death itself, while his body lay cold in borrowed stone. The world thought it was over. Hell thought it had won. But God was operating in the darkness. You are in that tomb right now, not buried incubating. That exhaustion that won't lift, that's not your body giving up. That's heaven shutting you down to restart you. That fog in your mind, that heaviness in your chest, that weariness doctors can't diagnose, it's divine anesthesia. God has placed you on his operating table, and for 42 sacred hours, he's rewiring what was broken, restoring what was stolen, reversing what decay tried to claim. But here's what terrifies most people. The surgery happens in silence. No lights, no voices, no confirmation. Just stillness so deep it feels like death. And that's exactly where fear creeps in. You start wondering, did God forget me? Is this the end? Have I been abandoned in this darkness? No. You've been positioned in his operating room of silence. Think about Lazarus, 4 days in the grave, his sisters weeping, his body decomposing, everyone mourning a closed chapter. But Jesus waited. He didn't rush. He let the impossibility deepen so that when he spoke Lazarus, come forth, no one could deny it was resurrection, not resuscitation. Chosen one, heaven is letting your impossibility deepen. Not to mock you, to magnify the miracle. He shut you down not to stop you, but to restart you at a level your old system couldn't handle. Your body's breaking point is heaven's breakthrough point. I need you to hear this truth that will shatter every fear you're carrying. Romans 4:17 says God calls those things which do not exist as though they did. While you're lying in the tomb feeling finished, God is already calling you forth. While you're convinced you're too old, too tired, too broken, heaven is declaring, they're being renewed, strength is returning, age is reversing. This is your Lazarus moment, and it requires 42 hours of absolute trust in what you cannot see. Don't leave now. The next minutes could explain why you felt unseen for decades. Share this to every warrior who's grown tired, because what's about to be revealed will change everything you thought you knew about divine timing. But first, you need to understand why the enemy has fought so hard to convince you it's over. Why every voice, including your own, has whispered, "You're too late. You missed it. It's done." Because if you quit now, you'll never see what heaven built in the darkness. Close your eyes for just a moment. Feel your heartbeat, that rhythm pounding against your ribs that's not just blood pumping, that's the sound of heaven knocking from the inside out. For the next 42 hours, God himself becomes your surgeon, and the operating table, it's your own body. You see, chosen one, what's happening right now isn't visible under any microscope. Your doctor can't detect it. No blood test will show it. But in the unseen realm, in the place where spirit meets flesh, something miraculous is unfolding. Your DNA is being rewritten, not by science, by the Spirit. Romans 8:11 declares it plainly. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead gives life to your mortal body. Your mortal body, not your soul in some distant heaven, your tired bones, your aching joints, your fading eyesight, right here, right now. Heaven is downloading new software into your oldest bones. Picture this, electric light pure, golden voltage tracing through your veins like lightning through storm clouds. It's moving through arteries clogged with years of stress. It's flooding cells that medicine said were dying. It's lighting up neural pathways that forgot how to fire. This isn't fantasy. This is the fire of God rewiring what time tried to destroy. And it's happening whether you feel it yet or not. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't about vanity. This isn't about looking younger for a high school reunion or impressing your grandchildren. No. Age reversal is about vitality. God is giving you back the strength you need for the next mission. Because, chosen one, you're not done yet, not even close. You thought retirement meant the end of your purpose. But heaven is saying, I'm reversing your age because I'm about to reverse your assignment. What you thought was over is just beginning. The exhaustion you've been carrying, that bone-deep weariness that makes you wonder if you'll ever feel alive again, that's your body surrendering to the surgery. That's the anesthesia taking effect. God needs you still so he can operate without resistance. And during these 42 hours, something supernatural happens in the invisible realm. Your spiritual age begins to separate from your physical age. Your spirit, already eternal, starts pulling your body back toward its original design, back toward the blueprint heaven drew before time touched you. If your hands just tingled, if your chest feels warm right now, warmer than it should, if there's a buzzing sensation running up your spine like electricity finding its path, type, I receive it in the comments. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Heaven is marking you. But listen closely. This surgery requires something from you. complete stillness, total surrender. For 42 hours, you cannot fight what's happening. You cannot doubt the process. You cannot let fear abort the procedure. Because what's coming next will demand every ounce of this new strength. And the question you need to ask yourself is this: are you ready to trust the surgeon's hands, even when you can't see the scalpel? Chosen one, do you feel it? That shift happening right now in your chest? That's not anxiety. That's awakening. For 42 hours, heaven has held you in divine suspension. You thought you were resting, but God has been operating. And now, right now, the anesthesia is wearing off. The surgery is complete. And what rises from this table will not be the same person who laid down. Listen to me carefully. The Bible is filled with people who experienced this exact moment. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. 4 days. His body was rotting. His sisters had given up. But then Jesus stood at that tomb and spoke 3 words that shattered death itself. Lazarus, come forth. And Lazarus didn't stumble out. He walked out, wrapped in grave clothes, yes, but alive, moving, breathing, resurrected. You've been in your tomb, haven't you? Wrapped in the grave clothes of limitation, bound by the diagnosis, trapped by the mirror that told you your best years are gone. But heaven is standing at your tomb right now, chosen one, and the voice of the Almighty is thundering, come forth. Think about Saul on that Damascus road. One moment he was a killer of Christians, breathing threats and murder. The next moment, blinded by light, he hit the ground. For 3 days he couldn't see, couldn't eat, couldn't function. Everyone thought he was finished. But that blindness wasn't punishment. It was transition. God was rewiring his identity. And when Saul stood up, he wasn't Saul anymore. He was Paul, the greatest apostle who ever lived, the man who wrote half the New Testament, the voice that still echoes 2,000 years later. Your 42 hours is Paul's 3 days. Your stillness is God's reconstruction zone. And what about Moses? 80 years old, 80. Tending sheep in the wilderness, convinced his moment had passed, convinced he'd blown his chance 40 years earlier when he killed that Egyptian and ran. But then came the burning bush. Then came the voice. Then came the assignment that would make his name eternal. God doesn't retire his generals at 80. He reactivates them. This is what I need you to understand right now. Heaven operates on a different clock. While you've been watching your earthly years tick by, feeling like you're running out of time, heaven has been setting its stopwatch. And when heaven's stopwatch starts ticking, everything accelerates. You're not behind schedule, chosen one. You're on heaven's hour hand. The world measures time in minutes. Heaven measures time in moments. And you are standing in a moment right now that's worth more than a decade of ordinary days. This 42-hour window is compressing years of restoration into hours of radical reversal. Your body is not shutting down. It's being rebooted. Your mind is not fading. It's being upgraded. Your spirit is not weakening. It's being weaponized. The exhaustion you felt wasn't death approaching. It was life downloading. Type, I'm ready to rise in the comments right now. Don't hesitate. Don't doubt. Declare it. Because the paralysis ends tonight. The stillness is breaking, and what comes next will shock everyone who counted you out. But here's what you need to know about what happens after the 42 hours end. Listen to what the prophet Joel declared over your life thousands of years ago. Joel 2:28. Your old men shall dream dreams, not your young men alone, your old men, your silver-crowned warriors, your weathered saints who carry scars like medals. Heaven didn't say you'd fade into memory. Heaven said you'd dream into destiny. Chosen one, the world has lied to you about aging. They told you that wrinkles mean you're drying up. But wrinkles are scrolls. Every line on your face is a verse of survival, a chapter of victory, a testimony written in flesh. When heaven looks at your face, it doesn't see decay. It sees documentation. They told you grey hair means you're over the hill. But grey hair is not the color of endings. It's the silver crown of authority. Proverbs 16:31 declares it plainly. Grey hair is a crown of glory. It is gained in a righteous life. You didn't lose your color. You gained your crown. And that slower pace you walk now, that's not weakness. That's sacred rhythm. You're no longer moving at the world's frantic speed. You're walking at eternity's tempo. Every step is measured, every breath deliberate. You're not running away from death. You're walking toward purpose with the confidence of someone who's already survived what should have killed them. Look at Moses. 80 years old when God called him to the burning bush. The world would have handed him a cane and a rocking chair, but God handed him a staff and a nation. Sarah was 90 when she birthed Isaac. 90 years old, chosen one. Her body was past its season, but heaven said, I save my strongest miracles for those the world calls expired. Anna the prophetess was 84 when she recognized baby Jesus in the temple. While younger eyes walked past the Messiah, her aged eyes saw him clearly, because heaven saves its sharpest vision for those who've lived long enough to know what truly matters. Heaven saves its strongest wine for last. And you, dear one, you are that wine. You've been aging in the cellar of suffering, fermenting through seasons of fire, and now the Master is about to uncork you and pour you out with a richness the young cannot match. This 42-hour window is not about erasing wrinkles or dyeing your hair back to brown. The age reversal heaven is performing goes deeper than skin. It's rewinding regret. It's restoring the courage you lost somewhere between your 20s and your 70s. It's resurrecting the purpose you buried under bills, responsibilities, and the weight of just surviving. Your body may move slower, but your spirit is accelerating. Your knees may creak, but your authority is rising. Your memory may falter with names, but your discernment is razor sharp. If you're over 60 and still breathing, it's not by accident. It's by assignment. Heaven's not done with you. Heaven's just getting started. Type it now. I'm still chosen. Because what happens in the next 42 hours will prove it. Chosen one. As we come to the end of this sacred moment together, I need you to hold 3 truths close to your heart. First, the exhaustion you feel is not your end. It is your anesthesia. God is performing surgery on your soul, and the 42 hours have already begun. This is not aging. This is activation. Second, your grey hair is not a sign of fading. It is your silver crown. Your wrinkles are not weakness. They are scrolls of wisdom written by the hand of the Almighty Himself. Heaven saves its strongest wine for last, and you are that wine. Third, you are not too old, too late, or too forgotten. Moses was 80. Sarah was 90. Anna was 84. And you are right on time for the greatest chapter of your life. But hear me clearly, beloved. You are not walking this path alone. The God who breathed life into you on your first day is still breathing purpose into you today. He has not brought you this far to abandon you now. Every sunrise you witness is His signature, reminding you that He is still writing your story. And beyond God's presence, there is something beautiful here in this very moment. Look at these comments. See these hearts connecting. Feel these spirits resonating. You have found your tribe, chosen one. This is not just a YouTube channel. This is a community of silver-crowned warriors who understand what it means to carry heaven's fire in aged vessels. We are here. We see you. We will pray with you. So let me ask you this. If God Himself is rewinding your regret, restoring your courage, and resurrecting your purpose in these 42 hours, what will you do with the years He is giving back to you? Before I release you, join me in this prayer. Wherever you are, place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. That rhythm is not counting down, it is counting up. Heavenly Father, Ancient of Days, the God who numbers every hair on our heads and every year of our lives, I come before you now carrying every precious soul hearing these words. Lord, they have walked through valleys that would have broken lesser people. They have survived seasons that should have destroyed them. And yet here they are, still standing, still breathing, still believing. Father, I pray for divine reversal over their bodies right now. Where doctors said decline, speak acceleration. Where age said limitation, release supernatural strength. Touch their bones with the same power that raised Lazarus. Breathe into their lungs the same wind that parted the Red Sea. Rewire their minds with clarity that defies every medical report. God, restore what the years have stolen. Rewind the regret that has haunted them. Resurrect the dreams they buried under responsibility. Give them back the courage they lost somewhere between youth and now. Let these 42 hours be the turning point where everything shifts. Surround them with your presence so tangibly that they feel your hand on their shoulder in their darkest hour. Open doors no man can shut. Provide resources they haven't even thought to ask for. Send divine appointments that accelerate their purpose. And give them dreams so vivid, so clear, that they wake knowing you have spoken. Father, bless their families. Heal their bodies. Restore their relationships. Multiply their finances, and most of all, let them feel your pleasure over their lives. Let them know that you are proud of how far they've come, how much they've endured, and how faithfully they've held on when letting go would have been easier. In Jesus' mighty name, who wore a crown of thorns so they could wear a crown of glory, I seal this prayer. Let your will be done in their lives. Amen. Now, chosen one, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, share what God spoke to your heart today. Tell us where you're watching from. Let us know how we can pray for you specifically. Don't hold back. This community is here to surround you with love, with intercession, with the reminder that you are not alone in this journey. And if this message stirred something deep in your spirit, please share it. There is someone in your life right now, a friend, a family member, a neighbor, who needs to hear that their age is not their limitation, it's their qualification. Share this video with them. Tag them. Send them this link. Because the message they need to hear might be the one you're holding in your hand right now. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and turn on that notification bell. Every week, we're releasing messages specifically designed to ignite the fire in silver-crowned warriors like you. This is not just content. This is your community. This is your tribe. This is your family in the faith. Thank you for staying with me through this entire journey. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you for believing that God still has purpose burning in your bones. Your faithfulness to watch until the very end tells me everything I need to know about your spirit. You are not a quitter. You are a finisher. And your greatest finish line is still ahead of you. The 42 hours have begun. Chosen one, rest in his surgery. Trust his timing. And when you emerge, the world will see what heaven has always known. You are not fading. You are igniting. Go in peace. Go in power. Go knowing that your age is your advantage, your silver is your crown, and your fire burns brighter now than it ever has. Heaven is not done with you. Heaven is just getting started. Amen.